Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Thursday night edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Danella Streety, and giving you a live look at Doak right now. We have beautiful blue skies, not a single cloud so far. Currently 69 and sunny with a breeze from the northeast at 8 miles an hour. Right now, we're staying mostly in the upper 60s across the Big Bend in South Georgia, so pretty uniform so far, staying pretty cool. That wonderful taste of fall, and we're definitely seeing it in our dew points, as a lot of our dew points are sitting in the upper 30s, and of course down the coast a little more humid at 44. Current local radar, we are staying all clear right now across the whole peninsula and South Georgia and Alabama as well. If you're planning to go out tonight, make sure to layer up a little bit, bring that coat. It's going to be around 45 as we wake up tomorrow morning, clear skies, slight breeze from the northeast. If you go into class tomorrow, definitely again bring those layers. It will start creeping up into the upper 70s, staying sunny with a breeze from the northeast. Headlines today, we're going to enjoy this lovely cool weather in Tallahassee, looking back a day in weather history, and ending off with your sportscast. All that and more on FSU Weather.
Good evening, Tallahassee. I'm student meteorologist Matthew Wisnett, and welcome to this issue of FSU Weather.
Yeah, and so today, the past couple of days, we've been enjoying plenty of sunshine and cool temperatures.
Yes, there's been a nice chill to the weather, and it has been very dry outside, which has helped make this cold weather just stick around and be really nice for those of us who are trying to enjoy it outside.
Yes, for sure. So we're definitely going to take a look to see if those temperatures last going into the next week. Is this our fake fall, or is fall really here? We're about to find out. So Matthew, I'm going to take us into a look at the local.
Yes, as we look over at Doak right now, you can see it is sunny. The clouds are away. It is just a great time to be outside and be enjoying the weather to its fullest. As you can see, we're just really sunny outside, 69 degrees, just a perfect time to be outside. And not a cloud in sight, just great time to hang out, go outside, even take a little road trip to St. Mark's or Panama City, as it's very dry outside. Just a great time to be in any of this area, as there will be some clouds that might creep in Friday night, but overall very clear, and the weather will be very constant. We look at the current temperatures, we'll be sitting around that 70-degree range with some of us just below in the 60s, but for the most part, it will be looking very nice in literally all of this area, which includes all of us. Current dew points, very dry outside as we are in the 30s, so a great time if you're going outside to hang out, play some sports, as that wind will make it just a tiny bit chillier here and there, but overall, great time. You don't have to worry about any of that mugginess or anything, as that is not anywhere near here us in the Big Bend. And our temperatures, we're sitting right now a little bit below average, as that cold front has lowered us down, but we are sitting way below our lows, and we might even get just near those lows here in the 30s. And our temperatures as well, we will be sitting at 45 degrees tonight with clear, so if you're looking to watch that comet after sunrise, it'll be a great time to do so, as there won't be a cloud in sight. It will be a little chilly though, so if you're going to want that blanket or that jacket, if you're going outside to watch it, as it will be a little bit cold overall. Tonight's forecast will be sitting mainly in the 40s, while near the coast we will be closer to the 50s, as that cold front has really chilled us out for now. Friday, if you're going to be looking to hang out outside on Landis, it will be 78 degrees, very sunny, so make sure you have that sunscreen, as the UV index will be pretty high overall. Our day planner tomorrow, it will start out pretty cold in the 50s, but warm up to the 70s, so a great time to hang out. Maybe watch FSU football tomorrow night, as we will be taking on Duke in Durham, so make sure you are watching our game tomorrow. And for the most part, sitting close to in those upper 70s for most of the Big Bend. Just a great time to be outside and enjoy the weather while we have it, as it sticks around. And the week ahead for our 7-day forecast, you can see the temperatures really are going to start climbing as we get into the work week next week, and the sunniness will stick around, as there might be a couple of clouds here and there, but we will have lows in the 50s. So Danielle, what does Florida look like?
Yeah, so Florida, thank you, Matthew, is looking pretty good right now. We're seeing some lower 70s, even mid to upper 70s as you get farther south. But overall, most of Florida is seeing lots of blue skies, and some of those passing clouds, especially in Miami. Miami's going to see a pretty cloudy weekend, it seems, ahead. But current temperatures across Florida are staying fairly mild for this time of year. We're even seeing maybe 80 in Key West, 77, a little closer to average. But as we get farther north, we can see that cold front that we've had has pushed through. So we see 69, 68, and 64 across North Florida. And as we look into Miami this weekend, again, it is going to be pretty cloudy, but it will be a little cooler with those afternoon highs in the low 80s, and as we creep into Sunday, the sun will begin to peak out a little more, and of course with more sun is a little warmer temperatures, so highs might reach into the mid 80s. So we move into Tampa, much of the same story. Rain chances will remain fairly low, but again, those afternoon highs is going to be sunny, and those afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s as well. If you're planning to go to Disney, Universal this weekend or enjoying time with family in Orlando, it's going to be a little bit cooler, but overall it's still going to be sunny with afternoon highs in the low 80s as well. And if you're planning to go to Jack's, if you're going to enjoy walking around the town center, maybe even go to Jack's Beach, Ponte Vedra, surrounding areas, it'd be a great weekend to do so. Might be a little chilly for those, especially if there's a breeze at the beach, but for sure it's going to stay in the mid to upper 70s for your afternoon highs. Rain chances also staying fairly limited as well. If you're planning to go west to Pensacola, much of the same story as well. Rain chances are pretty low. It's going to be pretty dry this weekend, very sunny and very comfortable afternoon highs in the mid to upper 70s, maybe possibly even reaching 80 by Sunday. So we take a look right now into South Florida. We see again those passing clouds, much of what we're probably going to see in Miami for the next couple of days, but overall as we go farther north, we can see that clear out from the cold front, and overall all clear skies across central Florida all around. And as we even look into the Jacksonville area, Duval County and St. Augustine, again maybe some clouds offshore, but overall we're looking at a very clear and beautiful weather across the state of Florida. We can even see here as we look at our radar until later on tonight, we're only going to have some passing clouds across Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, and Miami. But again, as we go farther north, we can see where that cold front is right around here right now, and it's going to continue to dip farther south, so the clouds will begin to dissipate a little more as we go into tonight and into tomorrow. Tonight we're going to stay pretty mild. We even might see 50s in Pensacola, 45 in Tallahassee. Of course, the farther south we go, temperatures will go up a little more, but it's still pretty mild for this time of year. And as we move into tomorrow, we're going to see highs beginning to warm up into the high 70s, maybe even the low 80s, maybe even see some breezy conditions in West Palm, maybe even some showers and storms off into Key West. But as we move on into our next segment with Matthew, tell us more.
Yeah, as we look at the southeast as a whole, you can see we are a lot of us have that cold front that has moved through, which has cleared a lot of the skies in a lot of these areas. We look at the weather pattern. You can see this high pressure system to the north has pushed down and has left a lot of these areas with little cloud coverage and has given us a little bit of a chill to help cool down our temperatures. As we can see here, a lot of the areas right now are sitting in the mid 60s right now, but the farther south you go, the farther it warms up, as Miami has sit all the way at 77 because of those clouds, keeping those temperatures relatively stable overall. Our wind patterns, slight breeze out of the north thanks to that high pressure that has dipped down from the northern part of the continental U.S., but if you go further south, that sea breeze will kick in more, which will make the gusts just a little bit stronger. The southeast, you can see that cold air has seeped in, and it's going to start warming up a little bit more on Friday, but that cold front will continue to push down into Saturday, keeping our temperatures relatively stable overall. It'll start warming up as we get into the work week, as we start on Sunday, as it starts warming up just a tad bit, and some clouds might work their way down in central and south Florida, but overall in the southeast, we'll be looking very clear and very nice for this time of year in the 60s and 70s overall. And the muggy cast right now, very dry for the southeast. Florida, once again, if you're in central or south Florida, you'll have a little bit of more muggy conditions thanks to the sea breeze and that cold front that has not totally pushed through all of Florida yet. We look at Charlotte overall, you can see pretty similar. 70s across the board with lows in the 40s with lots of sun and not a lot of cloud coverage. So a great time to enjoy your weekend. Go watch some football, hang out with some friends. Just a great time to be outside. Nashville, same deal, sitting in the 70s with 40s overall. Tomorrow, lows in the 37s, so might need another jacket or two. But overall, looking very similar to Charlotte and having a great time to be outside for any outdoor activities you have. Tampa, well, hockey's being played tonight, so a great time to be outside with those temperatures. You might want that jacket, but overall the temperatures will be in the 80s overall thanks to that sea breeze that'll be keeping the temperatures relatively stable in those areas, and 60s as the low. New Orleans, well, 70s as well, and tons of sun as well as 60s in the low. So just a great time to enjoy the town in those areas. Danielle, what else do we have nationally going on?
Yeah, so nationally, we're looking pretty dry across the U.S. and very cool for the most part. We even see, of course, parts of the Pacific Northwest. We're going to see some of those cooler temperatures in the 50s right now, and even got a nice chilly 47 in Billings. And as, of course, we move towards the Southwest, we're going to see a little more of those warmer temperatures, even in the mid-80s. But most of central and eastern United States staying pretty mild and uniform between the 60s and 70s right now. And, of course, as we take a look into those dew points, we can really see a lot of different high pressure systems across the country, bringing a lot of this cooler, mild, drier air to most of us. We even see dew points at 26 in Kansas City, Missouri, 29 in Minneapolis, 38 in Bismarck, and even staying in the 40s across the Pacific Northwest. And of course, even in Florida, we're seeing dew points at 37. Of course, in Miami, it's still going to be more humid down there towards the more tropical parts, but it's going to be 62 for the dew points. And overall, that's pretty average for this time of year, especially when we get a cold front like this. We even see current radar. We have a little bit of rain and possibilities of snow around Idaho, Montana, and even southern Oregon, northern Nevada. But we can see here, again, a lot of fronts going on right here, but as it clears out, we see a lot of high pressure here. And even when we take a look at the map, we can see a lot of rain ahead of this front we got right here, a little bit stationary, mostly cold front, and then that will begin to turn into high pressure as we get farther east. So that's why a lot of us, even this big cold front here, which is why we have a lot of that beautiful fall weather we are enjoying across the country. SVC storm outlook for the next couple of days is going to be fairly marginal. We're going to have chances of showers and storms ahead of that front that's towards the west moving east. So lots of parts of Denver and, four quadrants here are going to see a lot of pretty much showers and storms possible, but not anything really severe. Worse, we can get a marginal strong thunderstorm or two over the weekend. But another concern, yes, cold weather is nice, but also when it begins to get very dry and you don't have a lot of rain, there's a chance for some fire weather conditions, and we definitely see fire weather warnings across Nebraska, Kansas, the Dakotas, Minneapolis, Iowa, and parts of northwest Missouri, and it can even go out into California as well. We have a couple of places in upper elevations where we have those freeze watches and warnings. A possible winter weather is possible in the higher elevations. We even see a couple of days ago, we had a fire weather warning in Tallahassee area, Big Bend, but that has begun to dissipate, and most of the eastern parts of the country are staying warning free so far as we're taking a look. Rainfall throughout the weekend, it's going to be pretty concentrated towards New Mexico, Denver, Kansas as well, but the heaviest portions across country, again, it's also mostly due to that front that will begin to push east. And again, this temperature outlook, we're saying pretty cool now, but once you go down, the only way is back up. So throughout next week, we're going to see above average temperatures to average temperatures for the next week or so. As we look into tonight, again, we're going to see in the 40s and 50s across the country. And as we take a look into tomorrow, again, we're going to see a lot of those mild temperatures. We're going to get a little warmer as we begin to move into the next week before we can wait for the next cold front. But as we move on into our weather event in history for today, we actually are going to report history on a flood, I believe.
Yeah, on this day in 1998, there was a cold front that moved through very slowly, which dropped a lot of rain in those areas thanks to the two hurricanes, Madeline and Lester, which produced big amounts of rainfall in southern Texas.
Yes, and how much rain we're talking? We're talking up to 22 inches fell over 2 days in some local areas, which, of course, in any place would cause significant flash flooding and record-breaking river floods, which causes a whole bunch of different issues.
Yeah, it took about 31 lives, and 17 of those were taken while their victims were in their vehicles. The rain was just so powerful, it just took their cars away and eventually led to their unfortunate just deaths, which is really hard to hear. And as we look at this flood safety tip, You can see 6 inches of rain is enough to just drag a human away, which is very concerning. So be aware of that. If there is sitting water and it is up to about your ankles, you need to be careful in that scenario.
Yes, and this is why it's so important that the saying "turn around, don't drown" is so prominent when we deliver this message about floodwaters. I mean, we can even reference this to Helene in South Carolina. I mean, of course, much of that was due to also river flooding and high amounts of rain in a short period of time, causing a lots of catastrophic damage and not even taking away cars, but the chances of floodwaters like this are even sweeping away whole buildings.
Yeah, it takes about a foot of water to sweep away a small vehicle. So be aware, in big vehicles, it can be 18 inches. So even if you are in a vehicle, if there's about a foot of water, it is not safe to drive. It's not safe to drive if there's 6 inches of rain. You need to be careful and make sure you are taking care of precautions, because even though you may not feel like it's unsafe and you feel like your car is fine, there's a lot of damage you can get from your vehicle going through a flooded area. And as we look back to the sports that are going on here around the Southeast and in general, right? There's so much going on, from my Buccaneers playing this weekend to just a bunch of other things going on this week. You know, you can see here that we got Thursday Night Football, Broncos and Saints, right? The Broncos in New Orleans taking on the Saints with great weather, as it'll be in the 60s, very clear. Great time to be watching that game outside on your patio. Just if you're in that area, great time to watch it. For college football, we got Duke on Friday. Hopefully we can get that elusive second win, but we'll see what happens. But overall attempts will be in the 50s, and towards the end of that game could drop below into the 40s. So make sure if you are going to that game, you have your jacket, pants, and an extra coat, as it will be a little chilly overall. We look at Alabama versus Tennessee. If you're going to that game, well, perfect weather, 70 degrees, and by the end of that game might drop into the mid-60s, so you might want that jacket, and you might want some sunscreen for early in the game, as there will be a lot of sun for that game if you're going to that one. And guess what? The best game of the weekend, Texas versus Georgia. You got 70s for the most part. It'll be getting around just around 70 with some clouds in the afternoon, and at nighttime late in that game, it will start getting close to 60. You know what? Early on in England, you will be seeing rain, so make sure you bring a jacket if you're going to that game between the Patriots and Jaguars. Dolphins and Colts, 70 degrees, just a great time to be outside. And Bucks versus Ravens, a great time, cloudy, but in the 70s. So Danielle, what are we looking at elsewhere?
Yeah, we're looking right now at the lifestyle across Tallahassee. We're seeing the cameras right now across the Sportsplex, Panama City, Lake Bradford, and St. George, and of course across all of the Panhandle. Right now we're seeing those beautiful blue skies and some mild to chilly temperatures across the area. Taking a look at our beach cam, again at the coast, mostly sunny skies, maybe a breeze from the south at 6 miles per hour. Overall blue skies, beautiful weather. If you are planning to go to the beach, it will be a little breezy, so if you want to bring maybe a light coat as you go there, as the sun gets down or starts to set soon, that'd probably be a good idea. You plan to go to enjoy the beach in the morning, definitely not a get in the water type of weather, but it's definitely a enjoy the sunrise and bundle up kind of beach weather if you plan to do so. Tomorrow morning, lows will be in the low 50s and then increase into the mid 50s into the 60s to late morning. If you're planning to stargaze tonight, take a look out for that comet that has been going around. It's only here for maybe another day or so visible to us. We technically do have a full moon right now. We had a beautiful, bright full moon last night. Viewing conditions will be perfect for tonight if you plan to go stargazing. Sunset tonight is around 7 p.m., so look forward to that. And as we go into our pollen report, if you have noticed maybe your allergies are acting up, probably due to high tree pollen and moderate grass pollen as well, definitely take that Claritin or Zyrtec with you if you have those issues right now. And taking a look at the dog walk forecast, will be pretty cold if you plan to get up early to walk your furry friend tomorrow morning. We'll have lows around the upper 40s possibly, but in the morning as it goes forward, if you're enjoying the nice sun as it comes out, the temperatures will increase to 53 degrees, but probably still wear a hoodie if you are a little more sensitive to the cold. As we take a look at Tallahassee International, no delays right now. We're looking pretty clear, and that is the trend going across the whole entire country. So we have green plains all around, and those are what we want to see. So we go into the Sportsplex right now, nice view. Again, clear blue skies. If you're planning to play tonight at the Sportsplex, it's going to be clear. Make sure to maybe wear a jacket if you plan to warm up to keep those muscles warm and loose. Don't pull anything, guys. That's not good. So if we take a look at our nightlife forecast, again, we're going to see probably a little cooler than 72, but again, we will have definitely those clear skies and a light breeze from the northeast from that cold front. And going into the weekday forecast, so the next couple of days, we can anticipate to see temperatures will increase a little more, but again, those morning lows are still going to feel like fall a little bit as we get into the mid 50s. And as we take a look into our fall countdown, we got 14 days till Halloween. Hopefully you guys will finalize those costumes, or it's going to be a little hard to get those costumes in check. Veterans Day, 25 days away, and 42 days until you have that wonderful Thanksgiving potluck. And now we'll pass it back to Matthew to close our local.
Yeah, as we look back outside at Tallahassee, you're going to see we're looking just as great as ever here in Tallahassee. We're sitting at 69 degrees, a nice full sun with not a cloud in sight. So enjoy it to the fullest if you're going to that soccer game at 7. Outside, same deal, not a cloud in sight. Great time to be outside for today and tomorrow. As we go into the afternoon, you're going to see a couple of clouds might squeak in here and there, but overall, very clear skies, looking great overall. Our temperatures, same deal as earlier today and yesterday. Upper 60s for the most part, with a couple of areas a little bit colder in the mid 60s, but overall, very, very nice for this time of year. And dew points, well, looking pretty dry overall, but up here in the Big Bend, we love those dry temps for this time of year. Just makes it great to be outside and enjoy the fall weather to its fullest. Our temperatures today, you can see we were sitting just where we want to be at 71, because who doesn't like a good October fall, right? And then our low, we will be lower than average for this time of year, but we are still going to be a little bit colder than some people might like. But 45 and clear tonight, great time just to be outside and enjoy the weather, go stargazing, have some fun with some friends, take a break from school. 45 overall for most of the area, with the coast being a little bit warmer thanks to that sea breeze. Tomorrow, 78 degrees with a ton of sun. So have that sunscreen. UV index might be a little high, so if you want to tan, might be a great day to do so. And a little bit of a wind from the northeast, but overall, we're going to be looking really good. Tomorrow's forecast, 78 degrees with a lot of sun. If you want to make a trip to the beach for a Friday, might be a great day to do it because it's going to have a lot of sun. And our week ahead right now, well, we're going to start warming up, unfortunately, for those of us who like the 70s, as we will get into the 80s this weekend. And then as we go into the work week, those low temperatures will start climbing up towards 60 again, and the clouds might start creeping back in towards Tuesday. And on Thursday, we'll start getting closer to the 90 degrees. So if you're looking for those plans for next week, make sure that you have a backup plan, because it might be really hot outside overall. So you're probably going to want those shorts and t-shirt. And so, Daniela, with everything going on, what are your plans for the weekend?
Well, I'm definitely starting off with the pink out game tonight for FSU Knowles, supporting breast cancer awareness tonight at 7. So make sure to show up and support your Knowles tonight. Other than that, I'm definitely going to probably enjoy the outdoors, so while I can.
Yes, I will be trying to play some volleyball tomorrow with the great temperatures, with the great wind. Just a great time to be outside and have some fun after all the tests I've had the past few weeks. You know, it's just a great time to relax.
Definitely been busy for both of us, and you know, it's been a great couple of days to enjoy the outdoors. And yes, maybe a little bummed out for those who like the cooler weather, that it's going to warm back up next week, but hopefully we can look forward to the week after a little bit of a more cool down once again.
Yes, and I will be hoping at least that our FSU football team can pull out the win, even though it will be a little bit colder than normal as we play at Duke, but hopefully those cold temperatures will allow us to finally find an elusive second victory that we all hope and pray for.
Facts. They can't make heat an excuse. If it ever was one, it can't be one now. So
yeah, let's hope so in our case. Let's hope that it's just a great time. And we look one last time at the 7-day forecast.
But first, before you look at the 7-day, make sure to follow us on Twitter at FSU Weather, like us on Facebook at FSU Weather.
Yeah, we're also on Instagram, same thing at FSU Weather, and we will also be subscribed to us on YouTube as well. And we are on TikTok, so follow us at FSU Weather as well.
And now we take a look at our 7-day. Have a great night, everyone.